I never thought of it as a timeshare until the end. I always thought of it as a vacation package. It's not a timeshare. Oh, there she is. Hey, Yonti.
Hello, Miss Hartman. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to see you.
I know, it's really good to see you. I don't know if you remember, but I think the last time we spoke, when we realized, hey, we did it, I said, I really want to meet you someday.
And give me a hug. Remember that?
Exactly. Yeah, I know it's a little hard, but virtually you got it, girl.
Thank you. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
There you go. Kindred spirits in the same fight. You guys came out of it together, right?
We did.
And in less than 6 months, that's what really amazed me. It was like you knew how to hit, and keep pushing and pushing. The old saying about, like the leaky faucet, drip, drip, stream, stream, tsunami, tsunami. And that's what you have to do.
But you were a trooper, Miss Hartman. You were a trooper. You were a trooper. You were with me every step of the way. She did have her questions, right? She did have her concerns. But I was there. I was expecting it. I was anticipating it. And yeah, it went well. It went well for the most part.
Yeah. And I never felt like if I had questions that I was bugging too much. I mean, I know a couple of times I probably did, but because I was nervous about the whole process. It was, it's a hard thing to know that in less than 2 years, you got yourself roped into something just like that. And to find that there really was no recourse that Bob and I could figure out what to do. So when my lawyer was the one who had another client who had heard about you guys and actually had used you guys. So that's how I figured out to contact Wesley Financial. So.
Wow. Well, there you go. I was gonna ask you how you found out about us.
That was how. So.
Well, that's incredible. So whenever you started looking into Wesley, I'm sure you heard about the Chuck McDowell story and all that. Yeah. Were you able to relate to that?
Yeah. I think the thing that truly amazed me is that he went through all of that, established this corporation that's doing a lot of public good, in a world that's got a lot of issues right now. And he persevered even when they came after him. And that was just like, oh my gosh, there's got to be something right here, something good here, if that can happen. So that was kind of like what sold me. And my husband just kind of comes along for the ride.
Indeed.
Yeah. As a good husband does, right? There you go. Yeah. Well, so whenever you first started, you went through the process. Once you spoke to Yonti the first time, were you still a little bit anxious, or was it starting to kind of settle for you that you were in good hands?
I felt I was good hands in the beginning. I really did. I think it's just the whole thing of conflict. I mean, most of us aren't comfortable with conflict. I'm definitely not. My husband might beg to differ, but if I know that there's a path and I can see a logical way that it's being presented to me and that it could work, I'm on. I'm really there. So, yeah. Oh my God.
How you doing?
Hello. It's very good to meet you, sir.
Good to meet you. Good to meet you.
Yeah.
It's good to see all these smiling faces.
Yeah. Well,
what a surprise.
I know, really, it's so nice to put faces with the people, the names and the people. I've seen your video, Mr. McDowell, and I was impressed by that, and just telling them about how impressed I was that, you did such a great thing, and the big corp came down and tried to take you out, and you persevered. I'm like, okay.
They've tried many, many, many times, and
Have
still
they?
trying, but I didn't do anything really. I mean, I've had to fight the wars, and I've had a lot of stress, but in this case, our friend Yonti is the one that got this one across the line. So she's the hero today.
She did a great job. She really did, I mean, I never felt like the ball was being dropped. I'm a little impatient, so I may have pushed a bit, but, no, I felt like, I was in good hands, and the plan was there. The plan made sense to me, so it was just being patient and letting them kind of respond in their way, whatever that may be, and then us going up the next step. So,
and that's actually it's a big problem for us, because it feels like every client knows how to do this better than we do. They think that letter should be written a different way, or we should have done, but we've done over 50,000 of them now. And if people would just trust us, but I understand anything to do with timeshare, it's hard to trust anybody. So, but thank you for trusting me and my company. And thanks to Yonti for getting us across the line. So great job for everybody.
Well, thank you for being there in the first place, and thank you for hiring such great people.
We try to do a good job of hiring great people. If you don't hire great people, you can't have a great company.
It doesn't work.
Thank you. I appreciate you trusting us, and Yonti, great job, and y'all have a great 4th of July weekend.
You as well.
Thank y'all. Thanks, Zach, for putting this together, buddy.
Of course. Have a good one, Chuck.
Wow.
There
What
you
surprises
go.
do you have for us? Oh, wow.
Wow. That was fantastic. I got goosebumps after the fact.
Well, good. I talked to him yesterday. I was like, hey, I'm going to be on this call, and I think it's going to be pretty good. I think you might want to jump in and say hi. And he was up for it.
Obviously, he was on the river somewhere.
Yep. He's definitely enjoying the 4th, as we all should, right? Yeah. Freedom to the max for you this year, Linda.
I know. It's like, definitely.
There you go. Well, and I wanted to hear really quick, Yonti, from your side. Obviously, we have canceled over 50,000 timeshares. Every single one of them is unique. Every person that we work with is unique. What stands out as a highlight that working with Linda? What stands out as a highlight for you?
With her, even though she says she may have been a little impatient, I kind of beg to differ. I think she had all the patience in the world. Her and her husband are like night and day, right? So he was the firecracker that we needed, but she was the one to just come over and smooth things out. You know what I mean? And just kind of put the cherry on top. When I asked her to do something, it was done. She was very thorough in following up with me, keeping me in the loop. A lot of times our clients, they'll just get to going, and sometimes they'll forget to keep us in the loop. But she was very detail oriented. She was on top of everything. And her attention to detail was just like chef kiss, because she knew what she wanted, right? She told me what she wanted. I applied that, and then we got it done. And last but not least, when I tell you that Miss Hartman was on top of her credit score, she was looking at that FICO score faithfully, and she would send me a copy every time she got a ding. So I believe the last time that she sent me something, it was about 5 a.m. in the morning or something like that. I was probably just getting up for work, and she said, Yonti, I believe this is it. I believe this is it. And she was the first email that I saw. So when I saw that, by 8:01, I was calling her saying, that's it. Yes, ma'am.
And I'm an hour ahead of you, so. or behind. I can't remember which way it is. I'm Eastern time, so I always confuse her.
Yes.
I'm right on the cusp too. So
she was very different. She was very different, very willing. And it was just a breath of fresh air.
Well, and so,
thank you.
I mean, Chuck mentioned that working with anything timeshare, I mean, your skepticism is just through the roof, especially after you've been misled. Can you tell me the story of how you got into the timeshare? Like, what was the story of that?
A little bit, but well, my husband and I were living about 5 hours away on the other side of Michigan, right on Lake Huron. We're from the West Michigan area, so Grand Rapids area, Muskegon, right along there. We had, I think it was a family get together. And so we came over here and rented a hotel. And it was a choice hotel. And they offered, of course, to have us do this trial thing down in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, 2 free nights and all this stuff. And we got down there and went, wow, this is not what we thought. But okay, we'll go to the presentation, which was in a beautiful facility, not right in Gatlinburg. It was nice. And we got, I think, 3 nights there in Gatlinburg. And at first we really were thinking we weren't going to do it. And then they ended up saying you could have like 8,000 points, which basically they had to do a little jerry rigging, and I may have my numbers wrong. But let's just say from that point on, when we got to our welcome meeting, which happened, that was in February. Then the welcome meeting happened up here in Michigan. They have one place in Michigan, the Boyne Mountain Ski Resort, and golf course, of course. And so we went to that in May, and they had screwed up the paperwork like crazy. So somehow we couldn't get anything. So they had us look at increasing our points, and it just snowballed from that point on. It was like every time we went somewhere, and we weren't usually as impressed with the places that we thought we should be, especially the Boyne Mountain one that we got our free weeks at. We were there twice, and it just kept going downhill in quality. Every time. I have photos yet of what the furniture looked like and what this room was decorated like. It was from the 80s and 90s. Furniture mismatched. The table was a nice big table, but the chairs were too low for the actual size of the table. So you're sitting like eating like this. Just all kinds of things. So it was the last time we went and tried to get things fixed, because Bob and I really only wanted it to go down to someplace warm in the winter. If you want us to go down south for July and August, we lived on a Great Lake. I am 5 miles from the other Great Lake here on the other side of Michigan. Why would I spend money doing that? So we were really like, this is not what we wanted, and we couldn't necessarily get what we wanted given the number of points we had or when our dates were. There was some changing of the dates around. The last time they changed the dates for us, and they said, well, it's only going to be 6,000 more points, but we're going to pay your maintenance fees next year for free. And we went, okay, wow. Okay, that's a whole nother story, because that was at that time, I think 2,500. And we thought, okay, yeah, we'll do that. Well, it ended up, they were only going to give us the 6,000 points for free, not the entire, like we were gold membership by then. So that was the final straw. And it took me a long time to call this. Well, I called him numerous times, a long time for him to answer. He admitted he lied to us. He admitted it. And that was like, okay, I'm done. And that's the one thing, you don't lie to me. And you don't pull one over my eyes. I'm going to get angry, and I'm going to find the way to have you pay for what you have done. Not to get it right. I don't mean like, I'm going to, not my style. But don't push the buttons.
Yeah. You should, and they shouldn't. I mean, you you cannot be alone in that. I mean, I can't, I'm sure Yonti, she communicates with quite a few clients throughout the process. And I can only imagine that anger is a pretty common emotion that is expressed.
It is indeed, amongst others, but that's very common.
Yeah. I don't think I ever cried, but
yeah.
You did not, Miss Hartman. You did not. You did not.
Well, the opposite of anger is crying, and I don't do that. So. Oh, exactly. There were a few times it was like, oh, really? How are we going to do this? You know, because we're in our 60s, late 60s, and we're like, this is not how we wanted to spend our retirement, nor did we want to spend all of our retirement money to pay all these bills, you know? So, and then to not really be able to use it when we wanted to, or have the facilities not completely open when we get there, broken down, not up to par. None of them had elevators. We're like, you got to be kidding me. I got to go up steps to get to my room when I've been gone for 3 weeks driving down there, because it was the other thing. We couldn't really afford to fly down there given the cost of this program. So we had to drive, which meant 2 hotel nights going down, all this luggage trying to prep for 3 weeks being gone. And it was a load.
Yeah. It turned that vacation into a nightmare.
It was. And driving from, I don't know if you guys have ever driven from Michigan or at least Ohio, wherever it is that you are, down to Florida, but 75 is not fun.
Yeah. Well, and so what, I mean, did it kind of shake your trust in, was it specifically timeshare, anything timeshare related, that kind of shook your trust at that point?
The whole thing was, I never thought of it as a timeshare until the end. I always thought of it as a vacation package. It's not a timeshare. I don't own a place. I don't have to go a certain week. It's a vacation package. So, but once I realized how much it felt like a scheme that it kept growing and growing exponentially for you to get anything close to what you thought you were buying into originally. It was when I'm like, okay, this really is a timeshare. It may not be done the traditional way of a timeshare that you used to think of, but it's a timeshare.
Yeah. And did they sell it to you like that?
Yeah,
it's a vacation package.
It was not a timeshare. No.
And Yonti, do you see that a lot, especially recently, where they're not explicitly saying it's a timeshare, but it's something else?
Sadly, so that's the way it's always been presented. Since I've been with Wesley Financial Group, it's been a couple of years now, almost 90% of my clients come through the doors stating that this was sold to me as a vacation package. It wasn't sold as a timeshare. And then, of course, they have all the affiliates like RCI and Travelers Plus and things like that. So you can maximize your ownership and, be able to get into like a wider or broader collection, just like the merge with Hilton. They sold the blue green owners on, this is why we're doing this, so that you guys, we've heard your complaints about availability. We've heard your voices. Now we're answering. We've merged with Hilton, so it gives you a bigger selection, but they don't tell you that you have to upgrade for that. That's going to cost. Now you not only have to fight other blue green, owners for properties, but you got to fight Hilton's owners as well. Now they can just utilize blue green, and blue green can utilize. So, it's still no good. You're still going to face the same problem. And it's always going to be an upgrade. You're never going to be able to go where you want to go because you'll never have enough points. And if you do have the points, you'll never have the availability because nobody can schedule something out a year or two in advance. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 10 minutes. So trying to schedule a 15-month vacation is, wild, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, exactly. The other thing too, I found with all of the different things that they offered you all of the things with like what you're talking about, the RCI and the yacht clubs and all this stuff. It was very confusing. Everything was very confusing. And you try to read it and it didn't make sense. So they would catch us the first few times because we're going, well, we have these questions. We'll go in and, they'll do this for us and it's for free. And we get $100 gift card or something like that, but that was when they sold us. They didn't really answer the questions. It was still, they made their attempts, but it still didn't have I didn't have anything to tie it to, no experience to tie it to. And that was very disconcerting to me.
Yeah. Well, and so once you said from the beginning, so you heard from basically a friend of a friend about Wesley Financial Group. What was it that kind of immediately you felt like you were in good hands? What was it about that you saw that helped you think that way? Like I said,
I think the video really helped me, watching some of the customers that he had helped back then. And then immediately when Yonti had called and explained who she was and what the plan was, I'm a speech and language pathologist, so I really appreciate people who can explain themselves well. And I also basically can understand a well put together plan, which this felt like to me. So for me, it was from that point on, it's like, yeah, we got to do this. There's no way that we can afford to do this for, we're almost 70. Come on, it'd be different if I was 40, but when I was 40, I couldn't have afforded any of this.
Yeah. So now that you are free of your timeshare, and as I understand, you were able to get out of the debt of the timeshare. Is that correct?
Out of the incoming debt. We feel, I think we gave up $40,000, $50,000. I don't know. That might even be too much, but it was worth it. It's like Bob and I both just said, be gone, just be done. Yeah. So we don't have any debt from them at all anymore.
That is, I can only imagine the relief.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
definitely. So
very, very cool. I'm very excited for you. I'm very, very happy that you got out of your timeshare. It's so awesome to see two good people just working together and coming together and making something happen, making the mission happen.
Yep.
So I appreciate you hopping on and talking with us. Before we go, is there anything else that you would like to say? If you were talking to a friend, is there anything that you would kind of encourage them? Maybe they're stuck in a timeshare. Would you, is Wesley a place that you would recommend to them?
Best decision of my life. I really have to say that. It's the best decision I've made ever. And it took some convincing of my husband because, it costs money up front and I knew that, but it was like, if we don't do this, we're going to be out that and we were looking at $600,000 over the next 20 years or so. Like, no. So, yeah, not a decision that I regret in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Well, Yonti, is there anything that you would want to add to the end here?
I thank you, Zach, for this opportunity. Miss Hartman, you are wonderful. You are a peach. I appreciate you. We all do. Know that this is not something that happens every day. So I'm a little bit nervous and excited because I've never met a client before. So you're my very yes.
Well, you know what? You can call me Linda. Okay.
Thank you, Linda.
On a first name basis from now on.
Oh my goodness. It has been a pleasure. Thank you both so much.
Oh, this is great. Now I'm going to cry.
I was holding mine back. I was holding mine back. So if I hope you don't use that, Zach.
Yeah. Anyway.
No, it's great.
I
Happy
know.
tears are allowed. Angry tears, we'll leave those. But
Yeah, the
happy
angry
tears are
tears
good.
were before.
And I'm so glad that's right. But
Well-
now they turned into happy tears. And I'm so glad that Yonti and Wesley and myself were able to be a part of that. And that's what we want to do. Generate those happy tears, the celebrations. And I'm so glad that we were able to help you.
Thank you very much. And now that we're kind of at this point, I'm going to be sure other people who might come to me and say, like I told them, I'm not on Facebook anymore, but definitely we'll let people know that there is an out. There is a way out. You got to work the plan, though. It's not just somebody going to do it for you. You got to work the plan. So be ready and be there.
And remember what I told you, Miss Linda. The next time someone says, sit down for an hour and we'll give you $100 Visa card, you know to pick up and run, right? You know to run. Get out of there.
Don't let the screen door hit you. Exactly. Do not collect $200. Do not pass that whole thing.
Yes, ma'am. Not pass go, please.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, thank you guys so much. And I can't wait until the next time. We should check in again in like 6 months to see how you're doing.
Great. I'm never going to buy anything like that again.
We hope not.
Yes. I'll remember your words, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Take care. Bye.
You too. Goodbye. Good to meet you both.